morning, everyone. Welcome to a regular podcast called Knowledge Empowers. As always, with you is me, Kat. 안녕하세요. Then we have Baruch.
Hello, hello, hello.
And we have Kolaj.
Dobré ráno. Good morning, everyone.
I can see the lack of energy in his voice. When was the last time you sleep?
Today. That was the last time I slept.
How is the fatherhood going?
Yeah, the usual. Nothing big, nothing great, nothing terrible. So the usual stuff, you know.
Is the baby good sleeper, or you have to get up like a lot during the night?
During the night it's better, and during the day it's worse. So we are sleeping about 6-7 hours during the night because he is a good sleeper when it's night, but when it's the day, it's a nightmare. So well, not a nightmare. That's a too strong word. It's more difficult during the day than during the night. Yeah.
But at least he lets you sleep 6 to 7 hours. That's pretty.
Yeah, that's really a good start there. You know, like we have only 1 or 2 waking ups during the night, so could be worse from the stories I hear around.
It could be much worse, yes.
Yeah.
Something total silly came to my mind. That imagine Collage will be giving us the first 30 days, the first 60 days, and the first 90 days with baby.
Newcomer fatherhood.
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible.
Let's hear the 3 fun facts.
So first one is about dragonflies. So we talked about them before as really good killers. This time it's more about mating for dragonflies. So the dragonflies feign death during mating, or actually when they do not want to mate.
I'm not interested.
Is it the females?
Just the females, yeah, they feign their death to avoid
Dude,
mating.
I'm not interested.
Yeah,
Fly away.
Not fly away, just like, you know, I'm dead.
Yeah, but the guy, like,
male,
go away, fly away.
I'm dead, please fly away.
Yeah, true. So they have headaches,
should I try
headaches.
that? I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure if you can. Well, you can definitely try it with your partner if you have, if you want to.
Too much information.
I've heard that some men like it, you know.
Oh no!
It's a big trend in Japan.
Really?
It's like, you know, there is a saying like the girl is best partner in these activities when she lies like a dead fish in a bed.
Well,
Yeah, that's a fun fact from my side.
Okay, interesting connection. So,
I can't imagine that we are going to air this, but okay.
yeah, well, if you're from Japan, please tell us if it's true or false. Yeah. The second one is that I discovered that there is hell on Earth, like literally hell on Earth, and or more like gates to hell. It's a place in Turkmenistan, and it's a hole which is constantly burning since 1971. So like 50 years, still burning continuously.
What place is that?
It was a place where they wanted to mine basically oil or something like that, you know, and when there is crude oil, there is usually also some gas, some methane. So if you want to get to the oil, you need to get rid of the methane. So they were thinking of, you know, letting it up, let it burn, and then get to the oil or to the rest of the resources which were hidden there. But the methane, or the amount of methane, is so huge there, you know, so it's burning for the past 50 years.
Wow.
So,
you didn't expect that, I think.
Nope, not
what
really.
What about the global warming?
Do know, but I think that it would be a useful campfire, you know, like if you want to bake some sausages or something like that, you can.
And they are not able to stop it?
Nope, because it's burning underneath, you know, and the methane is coming from the ground. You know, you don't know how to stop it. And, you know, it's so 50 years and still going. But from what I've heard, it's not the longest one. So there are places which are burning for a longer period of time.
What?
Yep, happens. Shit
Mhm.
happens. And the last is more of a question. We will start with a question. So, do you know what or who is Parasitos?
Sounds
That
like
sounds
Parasite.
sounds
Sounds like-
Spanish to me.
Spanish, okay. Something related to parasites, okay. It's a human being. Let's go this way.
They still can be parasites.
I was correct. Yeah.
Yeah, they will be parasites. It's an ancient Greek comedian who comes to a party as a freeloader, so he's uninvited guest. But he is making jokes, so comedian, so these Parasitos had their own books of jokes, and they were using these jokes to get free food for them, so like, I will make fun at your party so that I can get food from you.
I was so close.
Yep. So it is related to parasites.
Freelance stand-up comedian.
Exactly.
Uninvited.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So, Parasitos, remember, we know who you are. And that's it. So, dragonflies, gates of hell, and Parasitos for this time.
Thank you, Kolach.
Thank you. So, guys, we are continuing the series of Burnout, and today is the time we talk about resilience and how to prevent it. So, to talk about us. And before I even step further into, I want to ask you guys, subscribe, comment, give us a like. Very important. And I will actually start with few resources. And there is an excellent TED talk by Jen McGonigal on resilience. And she's giving really lots of tips and tricks on a resilience and how to build it. So definitely watch it. We are posting the link in our video as well as in Spotify. Definitely go and search for it. And I will now start talking a little bit about the prevention. And I want you guys to imagine a candle with a flame inside of a room like this. So we have 6 walls, right? We have the floor, we have the ceiling, and four walls around the candle. And the candle has the and the candle has a flame. So guys, what do you think would happen to the flame if one wall falls down?
Not much. There would be a draft.
Yeah, so maybe shaking the flame on the side. And what do you guys think would happen to the flame if 2 walls will fall down?
Well, it depends on which 2 walls, but if they were the opposite walls, then I think it would just die out.
It depends on how strong the wind is.
Oh yeah, as well.
I've
Yes.
seen some candles which start burning again, even with that. So
Yeah, but those are the trick candles.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead, Colette.
so we are making our life a trick candle.
Ah. But exactly, imagine that we are the flame, right? So if one wall falls down, there's the draft, and if 2 wall falls down, the flame goes down. So let's use a little bit of metaphor there. Let's say that's the burnout, right? So what are these 6 walls and why am I talking about it? So I am using the words of the psychiatrist Dr. Kasparu from Czech Republic. The floor is our foundation, is something we need to build on who we are.
The floor is not lava. Okay. That's a different stuff.
Jump. No, that's a different game. So sometimes it's really good to ask yourself, do you even know who you are? And do you even love yourself? I remember I was maybe around 27, 28. Once I defined like, who am I? And started to honestly like myself. Remember when you're a teenager and still sort of searching who you are and there are so many emotions going through you Oh, I hate that period of time. I was such an angry teenager. But really, to find yourself, and if you still haven't found yourself, start building your own foundation first, because you need to know what you need to stand on, who you are. Then,
So how would you define it, who you are? What do you mean by that, who you are?
how would you understand it?
I was asking first.
I want to ask you.
I can answer first.
So
Okay.
go for it.
So for me, discovering who I am is actually what I would suggest to people who are still searching for themselves, is to try as many things as possible within safety limits, of course. So you discover what are your values. And if you discover them, you will feel like, oh, okay, this feels right. This is important to me. Or this feels wrong, and I don't wanna be a person who does XYZ because these are terrible values and I hate it. So once you discover your values, I think you are starting to define who you are as a person and what is important to you and what you want to achieve with those values.
Or even if we go from the teenage age, when, and usually girls have this, I don't know whether it's the same with guys, but we are like, oh my God, I want to be skinny. No, I want to be tall. I want to be small. I want to be this. I want to be that. And then you just realize, well, this is me. This is the way I look. And I just need to, you know, get comfy, like with the way I am. And so start liking yourself exactly the way you are. Yes, you can maybe shape your body by, I don't know, extensive exercise, but you will never I will never look like Baruch, or Baruch will never look like me. And that's the beauty of it, that each of us is unique in a different way. Start loving yourself for the way you are.
Easier said than done, of course.
Done. Yeah.
Collage, do you have an answer?
A lot of answers, actually. So you can always explore yourself and some characteristics about you, not just values, but for example, looking for strength sides, like what are your strengths? And you are building your basically anything on your strengths. You can build your career, your life, your friends around, because they will be helping you with that, or they will complement that, because we are looking for people who are just like us. So your strengths are going to be attractive to somebody similar, or you can go this way. So strengths is one way. Values, what you said, is another one. Purpose could be another thing, like finding what you want to do or why you are here. Each of us has some sort of motto or description in one sentence. That could be your purpose. You can define your purpose as well, and be driven by that. And it's really interconnected with strengths, with values, what you
Exactly.
have. So it's really like tangible, or like really in touch with each other. Except of these, you can go and explore your childhood traumas, your preferences when it comes to games people play, so explore your patterns of behaviors which you are using and constantly playing, and which are not really helpful but unhelpful, or more destructive than constructive. You can figure out the stories you are talking to yourself. So this sort of games, or how you translate it into your own behavior. And even hot buttons, from emotional intelligence perspective, you can search out for triggers which are actually pushing you towards some unnecessary responses. So, and that's again connected to all these behaviors and analytical psychology behind there, so there is a lot of things to explore.
Go and explore. Start building your foundation. Okay, so then the wall behind us is usually family, but not necessarily a family you are born at. It can be family you create throughout your life, because you meet very close friends that they actually become your family. And it's basically people that you can lean on when you fall in, like backwards, right? Or falling down, that they can help you out. And what I mean by not family, not necessarily family you are born with, because sometimes some of us are unfortunate and they are born in not a loving family. There can be like child abuse or drunk adults, etc. So not always we are born in a, let's say, really loving family, and you still can create your own family around you. Same is like me and my husband. That's a created family, basically. So I don't mean like, hey, you, I'm gonna pick you and you. From now on, you are my family member.
I
Same
choose
with me
you,
and
Pikachu.
yeah, same with me and Kolach when we were at the coffee shop and the lady asked us whether he's my son. So there you go. That's the way. We're family. Or sorry.
And they're still asking, still asking.
So family. And then we have the right wall and left wall, right? So let's start with right, doesn't matter which one, but one is colleagues and the other ones are friends. And we need friends as well. My friends are right now on my podcast.
Yay!
사랑해. So we need friends, right? Friends are our resource. Basically, when we feel down or we want to even share some happy stuff, these are the people we go to, and we definitely should not leave them that suddenly we don't need friends. I don't know why, but in my lifetime, I've met few people that suddenly, when they found girlfriends or vice versa, girlfriends who found boyfriends, they just stopped talking to their friends. My suggestion to you guys, yeah, I know people have usually different priorities, especially when you find boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, etc. But you should not leave your friends completely. At least maybe once a month, give them a call. Hey, what's up? Or go for beer. You need that time, because whatever happens in your life, your friends will be there.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you need to have 10, 15, right? You can have just one or two.
Actually,
You need them 50.
not really, but there is a study which shows the importance of relationship in our lives in terms of impact on our physiological bodies or physiological health. So they were checking out the number of friends compared to some like blood cells in your body. The less friends you have, the less blood cells of this type you have in your body, and therefore you are more inclined to be sickly. And they discovered that having 15 friends instead of 25, so having 10 friends less, is as bad as smoking.
Whoa.
I never had 25 friends in my life.
But by friends, they have the description of a friend here is not necessarily meant as a like friend like you and
Close.
me, but it also counts with your family. So like closest people and your surrounding, and so it's not like just the these more distant relationships, but really like counting,
Acquaintances.
yes, counting more people into that. So I'm not necessarily, this was just a study done in US, so it's not necessarily true about us Europeans or whatever, because again, we have a different definition of friendships, but still the measurement or the finding there that relationships, the amount of relationships we have has impact on our physical health, because we literally are missing then some blood cells, is fascinating.
It is. Okay, now let's move to the other wall, that we need colleagues. Right? Colleagues are our source of knowledge, wisdom, maturity level, or even wisdom from parts that you see things that you definitely don't want to do in your life. But you also meet very interesting people from among of your colleagues that moves you forward. So you need that as well to build it. And across my working career, I really have met so many interesting colleagues that have become my friends, like you too. So Ah, 사랑해.
And when I look back on my colleagues, there are some, especially mentors. When I look at mentors, they influence my life so much. And as you said, Kat, they will help you grow maybe as very few of your friends, right? Your friends are there to support you maybe more emotionally, and maybe your colleagues are there more on intellectual side. At least that's how it is in my life.
Yeah, I also met so many excellent mentors that really, thanks to them, I became much better person, or I'm trying to be a better person, better human being. What about you, Kolaj? Have you met any interesting colleagues? Except me and Baruch.
I've met a lot of people and a lot of interesting people. And the thing is that when I look on the workplace environment and outside of it, or our lives altogether, we are moving from tribe to tribe. We started with our family as the smallest tribe, but then we moved to school, and we are students, and we are in a class. And again, there's a tribe, and you're carrying some friendships over from there. Then you move to high school, university, again a different tribe, a new tribe for you to be part of. And again, you are trying to belong there. You are trying, and in this is the tribe you are basically hunting, or gathering something, like the external part. You go outside and you bring it home. So even work, you go to work and you have some targets, you have some goals together. So you are again some sort of hunters or gatherers there, and you create this mutual relationship because you need to trust each other. So again, you build this relationship, you build this sense of belonging there. So it's natural for you to evolve friends there. So colleagues, friends, it's intertwined for me.
Okay, the wall in front of us is our perspective. What do we want to achieve? Where do we want to go?
It's the vision.
It's the vision, right? So something that moves us forward, right? Goals, maybe career, maybe whatever. But we need to have that perspective, because then you're stuck in one place without moving forward. So also build the perspective. I even heard once a guy who shared with me, he was in his 50, that he doesn't have any dreams, like nothing to fulfill anymore. And I felt sad for him. I was like, but you should now rediscover it. So what it means that sometimes it can happen that you do have perspective right now, you might lose it, but then go and explore, because you need that wall. Otherwise there is the draft and your flame is sort of leaning towards one side. So you rebuild it again, go explore, go search, travel, whatever would help you out to find out, talk to people, etc.
Yeah, and I think that we mentioned it before that we like to set up goals, and some of us like to put really like big goals, and that's again not really healthy. Like you can go and dream big, probably, but be mindful about it, because if you have big dreams and you're not achieving them as you wish, you will feel stressed about it, because like you've set this huge dream, and suddenly it's gone, and you feel slightly depressed, or like burnt out or something like that, because you have not achieved that. Like for example, a friend of a friend, he had a huge dream of becoming entrepreneur, really like building up startup, earn millions, go big or go home. Well, he realized that after 6 months, a year and a half, that the dream is not gonna happen, and he needed to go and become a regular employee in some company, and he felt ashamed, like, so, because he didn't achieve his dream, and now he needed to, like, okay, so just become a regular employee of some company, and he hated it for a moment, until everything settled, of course, because we can adapt. But again, this having this big dream can set up things wrongly when it's not achieved. So be careful, be mindful about it, be mindful about the
And
stress
I
you're
would
creating for
say
yourself.
go and have a look our video about to have or not to have New Year's resolutions, where we really discuss deep dive about this as well. And the last wall is the wall above us, the ceiling. And those who just listened, Kola just looked up. So that's our wall that fulfills our soul. It's the love, either art, religion, the hope, whatever fulfills your soul, right? That you start building. So for me, it's my art. And I explored the art in many aspects. I try things differently because whenever I do the art, I am like in a different space and it really calms me down and so on. So, but that's my thing. So you need to find out whatever works for you, right? And not necessarily needs to be an art.
Like cat videos. Maybe yeah. No, I don't think that filling your soul can be passive. So like just sitting on a couch and watching movies, I don't think that that's really fulfilling your soul. It should be probably something active, something you're really participating on actively.
맞아. Correct. So exactly, it's you need to work for that. So like we've just covered all 6 walls to really or at least try to describe what you need to build around you and build the foundation and everything. Because if one wall happens to fall, if your flame gets shaken. But if 2 walls falls down, you are down completely. And here is the dangerous part. For example, if we talk about workaholics who only build and focus on the work, they don't have any other walls. And if they suddenly lose the job, it's like the end of the world for them. And it really is super hard for them to rebuild themselves, start rebuilding the foundation. It takes years, and we only have one life, right? So it's like cherish every day you have and do something for yourself to build that day. I'm not saying successful, but something that fulfills you.
Mm-hmm.
Something that moves you forward, something that creates you as a better human being, something maybe you've learned something brand new. Like me, when I learn a new word in Korean and one word sometimes takes me 5 days to learn. But then I celebrate it. I'm so happy that finally I can remember the word. It's just unbelievable. So celebrate it as well. So really, and the main thing is no one else can do this for us, just us.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make those steps. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of more resources besides what we mentioned, Jane McGonigal at the beginning. Also, I would say that check the benefits of your company wherever you worked at. What kind of support, like mental health or health support, company offers you. Really make sure you are fully aware of the benefits, and then if something like this happens, use that, right? Because that's like a first step or to first access to help, and maybe it's for free. So really use that opportunity. My favorite one, and this is where, because collage then went deeper and find a few other stuff, but it's still my favorite one. And it's Amy Cuddy, Your Body Language Shapes Who You Are. She talks about different body postures that it can change some of the hormones, either to boost your confidence, right? And then, as I remember, Collage found out that there were other studies that actually said it's not true, not true. Guys, I leave it up to you.
In the meantime, Amy did another study which proves that she was right, or that there is some effect. So it still changes. So it's study by study by study.
Study by study. I still love it because I did testing lots of her postures in a real environment, especially when I'm in a male environment and I do the mirroring stuff. So I like to play with it a lot. And it then helps me out. So definitely we are posting the link there. So watch it, guys. It's just worth, just try it. Try anything you can. I think we did already mention numerous times this awesome book by Daniel Goleman, Emotional Intelligence. Also super helpful thing. To sum it up, on our next session, or next event, whatever we want to call it, we're gonna bring someone who actually went through burnout, and that person will share with us like further details from emotional level, physical level, how that feels, etc. I don't want to put it in past because we will learn more from that person. So stay tuned for that. And with that, I'm gonna say Sugashasmida.
Bye bye.
Čaute, čaute, čaute.
This podcast represents our own opinions, experience, and our own ideas. We do not represent any official statement from our employers, and this is not their official channel representing the company.